Hello everyone, I am Dr. Bhaumik Joshi from MDS and this video is on object localization. So the question arises, why is this object localization necessary? So we know one thing, that the radiograph that we are getting are the two-dimensional representation of three-dimensional objects. As you can see in this image, the image that we are seeing right now is a two-dimensional image, as it will be visible to us when we are seeing at it from front side. Right. Now, what is the actual condition? So as you can see that this is the actual condition where there are two objects which are present, buccal and lingual, but because of superimposition in two-dimensional they are appearing as one. So how do we do object localization? The first technique, the most recent one, is 3D radiographic image, as we get from the cone beam CT. But CBCT is not always available and not always advisable. So for those cases, we have two methods of object localization. First is use of two radiographs made at 90 degree to each other. For example, you can take one the IOPA radiograph and one occlusal radiograph. And third method that we are going to see is use of Slob Rule. This we are seeing next. So we'll first see the technique of two radiographs made at each other at 90 degree. So these cases mostly are useful in cases of mandible. So in case of a mandibular tooth, when you want to see presence of an object present periapical to a tooth, we can take two radiographs. First we can see IOPA. As you can see in this image, from front the object will appear to us in the periapical region. But when we are seeing in periapical region or in the IOPA, we cannot tell based on this whether the object is present buccally or lingually. So for this case, we need to get an 90 degree view, that is the occlusal view. So when you see this particular tooth in occlusal direction, as it is visible from occlusal radiograph, you can tell that the object that was appearing periapical is present periapically but in the buccal direction. So with use of IOPA and occlusal radiograph, we can localize the object that it is present on the buccal direction of the tooth. Next technique of object localization is Slob Technique or Slob Rule, which is also known as tube ship technique or Clark's rule, because Clark has suggested this technique. Now, the Slob acronym stands for same lingual and opposite buccal. Okay. Now let's see this case where this is the front view of the tooth and then there is the side view. So when you see from the front, as we already discussed, an object that is present in the periapical region, we cannot tell whether it is present buccally or lingually. But when we see from side, it can be easily told whether it is buccally or lingually. But in 2D image, in IOPA, we cannot find this out. And when you are taking a normal radiograph, whether it is present buccally or lingually, it will be visible in a periapical region. But again, this is not sufficient for knowing. So we have to take another radiograph according to the Slob Rule. So in the Slob Rule, first radiograph we take according to the norms, and the second radiograph we take according to the tube ship technique. So here you can see two objects, one is present buccally and one is present lingually. So now what we will do, the first radiograph that we took according to normal rules from this side. Now the second radiograph will take by shifting the tube on the mesial side. When we shift the tube mesially, the buccal object's image will be formed at this spot because the rays are passing through it in this direction. The image of the tooth will be formed next to it. As you can see here, this is the direction of rays passing through the tooth and reaching the film. And the object that was there lingually, its image will be formed at this particular point. So what we can notice that now because the tube has shifted, the object that was there lingually, its image is formed mesially. And the image that was there on the buccal side, its image is formed distally. So what we can note from this is when the tube was shifted in the mesial direction, the object present on the lingual side shifted in the same direction as well, that is SL. And the object present on the buccal side, it shifted on the distal side, that is opposite direction, that is OB. That's useful for Slob rule, SLOB. Now here you can see two objects are there, one is present buccally and one is present lingually. When we are going to shift the tube, let's say we are shifting the tube in the mesial side. On shifting the tube mesial side, this is the image we will get where the buccal object will shift distally and the lingual object's image will shift mesially. This stands true even for the tube that is shifted in the opposite direction, that is in the distal side. On shifting the tube distally also, same Slob rule will be followed, where the buccal object will again move mesially and the lingual object will move in the distal side. Okay, that's all from this video. Do let me know in the comment section how did you find this video. If you have any doubts, feel free to put it on comment section or on our exclusive WhatsApp group for the online course students, and do subscribe to this channel. All the best.